Welcome to Howard's Opinion, the podcast where we dive into the latest and greatest in the world of sports. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm excited to share my thoughts and opinions with you today. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you, so let's get right into it. We're starting off with some exciting news from the world of baseball. The Seattle Mariners are on a roll, folks. They're currently leading the ALCS 2-0 against the Toronto Blue Jays, and their fans are going wild. I mean, who can blame them? This team has never been to a World Series before, and they're just 2 wins away from making history. Now, I know what you're thinking. The Blue Jays are a tough team, and they're not going to go down without a fight. But let me tell you, the Mariners have got this. They've got momentum on their side, and their offense is clicking. Jorge Polanco, or George Bonds as his teammates are calling him, is on fire. He's got the game-winning RBI in 3 consecutive postseason games, and he's hitting like a superstar. And then there's the crowd at T-Mobile Park. Oh man, they're electric. They've been cheering on their team with noise, joy, and tears, and it's been an absolute spectacle to watch. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a part of that atmosphere? It's like the whole city is coming together to support their team. But enough about the Mariners for now. We'll get back to them later in the show. The real question on everyone's mind is, can the Blue Jays turn it around and make a comeback? They've got Shane Bieber on the mound, but he's not quite back to his peak velocity. And with the Mariners' offense firing on all cylinders, it's going to be tough for them to keep up. We'll be discussing all this and more throughout the show, so stay tuned. We've also got some news about the Blue Jays' struggles at the plate. They're hitting a mere 31 to 232 40.197 in this series, which is just not going to cut it. And what's going on with their offense? Can they figure out a way to string together some innings and get back in the game? We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're diving into the world of sports, specifically focusing on the Dallas Cowboys and their current struggles. It seems like owner Jerry Jones is trying to put a positive spin on things, but the numbers just don't add up. According to recent reports, Jones claimed that the team's pass rush is a real strength, which has raised some eyebrows. The Cowboys are currently ranked 23rd in sacks with only 11, and they've been struggling to get to the quarterback consistently. It's hard to see how this can be considered a strength when quarterbacks like Caleb Williams and Bryce Young have had their way with the Dallas defense. Now, I'm not saying that the Cowboys don't have some talented players on their roster. They do. But to call the pass rush a real strength is just not accurate. It's like Jones is trying to convince himself and the fans that everything is okay, when in reality, it's not. And it's not just the pass rush that's a concern. The run defense has been getting gashed all season, with teams averaging over 144 yards per game on the ground against them. That's just not acceptable for a team that's supposed to be competing for a playoff spot. I think what's really going on here is that Jones is trying to deflect attention from the real issues plaguing the team. Instead of addressing the problems head-on, he's trying to spin things in a positive way. But fans aren't buying it. They can see what's happening on the field, and they know that something needs to change. The Cowboys have been linked to several trade rumors, including a potential blockbuster deal for a top pass rusher. Maybe that's what they need to shake things up and get their season back on track. But until then, it's hard to see how they're going to turn things around. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We've had a fantastic discussion so far, covering a wide range of topics from sports to current events. As we wrap up today's show, I want to dive into the latest developments in college football. You know I love my football, and there's been some significant news coming out of the NCAA. First off, let's talk about Penn State. The Nittany Lions have parted ways with their longtime head coach, James Franklin. This move has sent shockwaves throughout the college football community, and everyone's wondering who will be the next person to take the reins in Happy Valley. According to some insiders, Matt Rule, Urban Meyer, and even Deion Sanders are being considered for the position. But one name that keeps popping up is Matt Campbell, the current head coach at Iowa State. He's got a proven track record of success, and his teams always seem to be well prepared. Now, let's switch gears and talk about the Heisman Trophy race. Robert Griffin III, the 2011 Heisman winner himself, has released his latest rankings, and there are some interesting names on the list. Julian Sayin, the quarterback from Ohio State, is now sitting atop the list after a stellar performance against Illinois. Ty Simpson from Alabama is also making a strong case for himself, along with Trinidad Chambliss from Ole Miss and Fernando Mendoza from Indiana. It's worth noting that these rankings can change from week to week, but one thing's for sure. This season of college football has been absolutely thrilling so far. With teams like Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia dominating their respective conferences, it's going to be a wild ride as we head into the playoffs. As we close out today's show, I want to leave you with some food for thought. Who do you think will end up winning the Heisman Trophy? Will it be one of the quarterbacks from the top-ranked teams, or will someone come out of nowhere and steal the show? Let me know your thoughts on social media using the hashtag #Howard'sOpinion. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.